I have to admit, I read the rundown this morning, and I do blame Kelsey for everything. But I'm very excited about the topic for today.
Kelsey's stoked because she listens to the podcast. And she's like, do you know what you guys are doing tomorrow? I was like, no. Well, here it is. It's like, oh, yeah. Totally fucking forgot about that. By the way, so Kelsey is apparently, she tells me, you want to say it yourself? Go ahead, get on the mic. No? Okay. So she tells me she is online. Yeah. She's not everywhere. She hates the Twitter.
That's fair.
But she is online.
That's fair.
That's fair. We all do. Even those of us who've been on it since 2000, which it didn't exist then. But she hates the online thing, as we know. But she did set up an account, and she told me this morning, you fucking find me. Like, I'm not, like... What is that? Like, I can't... What do you mean, find you? There's... billions of people on social media. I think hundreds of millions at least. There's at least 20, and that means it's too many for me.
What's the Trump social media? Truth something?
Shitheaddouchey.com. I don't know which one it is.
Yeah, whatever. Truth Social, whatever the fuck it is. If she's on there, we're going to have a conversation.
If she's on there, I'll never,
I will never
ever
find her.
Welcome to 2 Shots and a Royalty Check, brought to you by Venmo, Your Money, Your Move, and Liquid Death. Murder your thirst. Let's get back into it. I should ask, hey, wait a minute. Were you part of the J6 crew? Oh, yeah, there she goes running out of the next room, whatever.
Subpoenas are coming. They're approaching the 2 Shots Music Pod offices as we speak.
This is why she doesn't want anyone to see her picture, because the FBI would be all, hey.
Got a hold of that podium, did you? Yeah.
Totally. I think she's vegetarian, too, so you're not going to do well in prison, Kelsey.
Oh, shit.
None of us do. Is that? Am I not supposed to mention that one? Isn't that about the crazy vegan guy?
Vegan. My son keeps bringing up.
Who was like, that guy was like, these are horrible conditions in this jail in prison. Something should be done about this. It's so funny when all those people go to prison. They're like, man, there should really be some reforms. This doesn't seem right.
And there's a whole fuckload of people that don't look like that person that are going, we know. Sorry.
Yeah. A whole lot of people in Rikers Island that can't answer that question anymore.
Ow.
Hey, all right. Let's not start that way. Good Lord.
I talked to somebody yesterday about being on the internet. I think it was yesterday. I happened to glance at Facebook, and there was I got about 6 posts down, and I was like, nope. Because it was just a pile of just bad shit. And I think I've been very open on the podcast about really curating the amount of shit I let in. As I've said, there's people I know, such as one Todd Davis, who is a mutual friend and incredible musician. If there's something fucked up I need to know about, he will let me know. He's like, you should know about this. Otherwise, it's puppies, guitars, motorcycles, and actually I'm into food stuff now too. So,
it's puppies, guitars, and bikes for me.
Wow.
So the fabulous producer, Kelsey, has reminded us that we apparently were high and started talking about how we were going to talk about drummers maybe the last podcast. I don't even know, but some podcast before.
As much as we mock drummers, they are the fucking glue that holds my universe together. And if I don't have a great drummer sweating and heaving away behind me, that's what she said. It's much harder for me to do my job. Also, what she said. That's right. Because if I'm concentrating on cueing the guy who's supposed to be running that piece of the band for me, that means that I'm taking attention away from the crowd in front of me and focusing it inward, which is fine. Sometimes I can have that cohesive thing with the band, but I need that guy to be a fucking rock upon which I will build my church. Peter. Thank you. That was a nice,
very nice,
solid biblical reference right there. So,
very nice.
Yeah, thank you.
Which, by the way, according to any band bio, the drummer is the strong backbone. How many bios have you written that are like that?
Oh, my God.
The thundering backbone, the strong backbone.
I just watched a video of, it was a bunch of drummers talking about the Ringo, about just like some of the techniques that guy, and you know I'm an unabashed Ringo fan.
But anyone like who's a fan is unabashed, I believe.
The fucking washing, the window washer attack on the hi-hat, the leading with the left hand on fills, just some of the shit that he did to make things sound different. It was like, there was Taylor Hawkins was on there, rest in peace, we love you. Chad Smith, I think Dave Grohl was in there.
Very nice.
It was a really fun little watch where they were talking about just their love for one of the greatest pop drummers of all time. I think fucking Ringo's brilliant because he didn't play what was supposed to be played,
right
at the time, especially.
Well, and if you saw the series on Apple, which if you haven't seen Let It Be, please do.
Oh yeah.
The other thing that you get is like just how disrespected a fucking drummer was in the 60s.
Oh,
right?
God, yes.
While the two high guys are trying to write a song, and he's just sitting back there like drinking tea and like, okay, whatever, I'll play it now. Do I play it now? Do you have enough for me to play it?
Yeah.
Because I already have my part, you bitches.
Doing crosswords.
Yeah, totally.
Are you ready yet?
And then finally getting, the hot girlfriend and like, all right, well, I'm just gonna bang this chick until you guys figure out that line. So yeah, we love Ringo. Okay, so this is we're gonna set this up here.
Okay.
So this is drums, drumming, and the drummers who drum them.
Perfect. Did you come up with that, or did Kelsey come up with that?
Kelsey, of course.
Oh, fucking brilliant.
And so we're just gonna kind of explore some things about drumming here, and this is just a love fest, a fingering of drummers, if you will, and you will, and like there is no other musician on stage, I would say, no other player on stage that is more reviled or made fun of than other than a vocalist than a drummer, right? Like we make fun of vocalists all the time, but as a vocalist, I make fun of drummers. So that's just what happens, right?
Yeah.
That's just what we're going to do. Rarely, like there isn't a video game out called Drum Hero.
Well, there was Rock Band.
Guitarists get their due. Bass players don't care. They don't care. They don't need to care. They're
Who
so
wants
sexy.
to be a bass player?
Yeah, they're so sexy. They don't care. My thing about drummers, now I've told some of my drummers this in the past. Why the fuck did you choose drums? Like, you're going to have to carry all that shit. I carry my SM57 and some condoms.
Yeah. Because I don't want the first 3 rows to get pregnant. Yeah.
Totally. So I feel for you. I do. I feel for you guys. So we're going to get into it and just sort of, we have some questions here. If you are a drummer and you're listening to this,
Thank you.
Name me another music podcast that's talking about drummers. So you go on there and fucking rate and subscribe us very well on your Apple Podcasts. I got it.
We've already got one of those on there. Makes me happy.
We do, because the drummers love us and they know we rib, we love, we care.
Yeah. We love.
So let's get into it. So let's start off with a few questions. So who was the first drummer you loved in music that you can remember?
Roger Taylor.
Roger
from Queen.
Taylor,
from Queen. Yeah. Not Roger Taylor from Duran Duran. Roger Taylor from Queen.
That is very nice. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going off the board here a little bit. Mm-hmm. It would be my grandpa.
Oh, shit. My dad played drums when I was a kid.
See? You don't even love your dad. That's how much we hate drummers, you guys. You see that?
I remember him teaching his best friend's son to play Iron Maiden songs in our garage.
Holy
when
shit.
I was a kid.
That's a good dad.
Yeah. That was the devil's music. But, at a certain point. But, yeah.
My grandpa
like
played the real devil's music, which was big
awesome.
band.
Oh, hell yeah.
I did a report. You had to do a report on your hero. My hero was my grandpa growing up. Yeah. And I just loved him. He was the coolest guy I knew. Yeah. And he had kind of a chicken wing hand. He had
all right.
only like 3 fingers on one hand. It was like all mauled and everything. He was disabled. And I never knew why. I never asked. I was a kid. I got to feel it and be like, that's weird. But he was fine. He could drive, it didn't really matter to me. I didn't know what the hell.
He could drive. Grandma was happy.
Yeah. I was supposed to, she was drunk.
Michael!
There she, okay, by the way, so this guy is married to that woman. If you've listened to this podcast, the woman that goes, Michael! That's my grandma. And she actually was an amazing pianist. Hey.
Dirty.
Thank you, folks. Good night. She was a pianist, and he was a drummer back in the day. And so I'm doing this report on my hero, and my grandpa, as it turned out, played drums for Harry James, a very famous big band. As part of the James Brothers. He also did a short stint for Tommy Dorsey.
Oh, fuck. Cool.
He got fired in Chicago on a Cab Calloway show because he was brought in to do like an extra, like, he was brought in, I think he was brought into the Tommy show, and he couldn't read music. Like, he learned it all by ear, and he was really good, and he basically faked his way through it for many years. And then, yeah. And, by the way, this is in the 40s, the 30s, like, they weren't rich. Like,
they're coming out of the Depression,
Yeah, he was playing all over the place and, poor. And then he got fired because they did a bunch of charts. They learned a bunch of new songs, and he couldn't read them. And he couldn't pick it up quick enough in rehearsal. They had a show that night, and he got fired. They brought in somebody great. So my grandpa was really the first drummer that I like gravitated to. And he told me about Buddy Rich.
Oh, yeah.
That was his favorite drummer. He had met him, and like that was like one of his heroes.
Fucking cool.
So all of these drummers that we mentioned, we want you to Google them later. That's why we're going to mention these. Drummers will know all these people, I would imagine. When I became, so I guess we should do it as we go a little bit further. Let's go a little bit further. So the first drummer was Roger Taylor. As you got a little bit older, who were some of the drummers that kind of entered your sphere that you thought, oh my God, that guy's really good?
Dirty. How dare you talk about entering my sphere?
That's what she said.
It's just, okay. So about probably, like my mid-teens, like I started getting into some pretty juicy metal stuff. I was a fan of Lars. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. Lars plays like Lars. You can spot him a mile away. The crash cymbal on 2 shit because he forgot to hit it on 1 has been a part of his whole thing, his entire career. And
by the way, for the Googlers, Lars Ulrich.
Yeah, is it pronounced Ulrich or Ulrich?
Ulrich, I believe.
Okay. Well, cool. Fair enough.
Oh,
so,
Jesus.
like, it was all the...
Jesus, they're going to get me on that. Why did you even say that? Oh, that's why you just said Lars. You didn't know.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I don't know how to pronounce... So...
Someday when we're on video, you'll see what just happened there.
Yeah, that was amazing. But shit, it was all the metal drummers. So it was fucking Lars. It was Vinnie Paul from Pantera. It was Dave Lombardo from Slayer. It was fucking Nick Menza in Megadeth at that point in time. And like all those guys. And then, like, of course, then my interests kind of drifted into some of the more prog stuff. We got, Mike Portnoy. We've got Neil Peart. We've got Vinnie Colaiuta starts popping up because Sting started becoming a thing that kind of was blending in with this because he was playing prog pop, in my opinion, right around 10 Summoner's Tales and all that kind of stuff. So... Vinnie Colaiuta starts popping up as like this guy, like, and he was just a session guy, he was, he'd play on the tours, but he wasn't particularly attached to any band. And so like, it was all those kind of guys. And, I don't remember the guy's name from Fate's Warning, but like a bunch of those prog dudes, I really loved the way they're on. But I remember particularly Pantera and Megadeth being like big drum influences, and then I gotta throw some love out to
Jarzomic.
Oh,
is that right?
Really?
Somebody check me on that.
Yeah, we do have the internet directly in front.
Fate's Warning.
Mark Zonder.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's his name, Mark Zonder. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get fucking added later. It's all good. And then I got into Seven Dust and Morgan Rose. And that guy had the perfect blend of all of that shit for me. He had pocket, he had chops, and he screamed his tits off all the time. And I just loved that style of, that kind of style of, drumming. It was just big and open and, intricate and sweaty, and I loved it. So a whole lot of shit going on around that time.
All right. So I got into, I'm very classic on this a little bit. I think when I heard the Ocean, John Bonham.
Oh, yeah.
It was kind of over for me. I was like, whoa, that's drums.
Yeah.
In fact, that was the way I learned how to play drums, because you're doing something different with the kick, the snare, and the hi-hat.
Yeah.
So you have this like straight up.
How's that again?
And I just thought I was in my choir room every lunch break trying to learn how to play drums with that song.
Yeah.
That's what taught me how to, differentiate all your different parts. I mean, obviously I didn't learn how to play drums, but I could play that. And then everyone was like, oh, you're a drummer. No. But that was the way I got into it. Then as I was growing a little bit older, I look, Phil Collins. We got to mention Phil Collins here.
Yeah,
and a lefty, by the way, which, like, for a visual person.
Does he play lefty? I thought he played righty, but he's left-handed?
No, but he plays righty, yeah. I think he plays righty, yeah. But, like, you could see him, like, it's so funny when his solo career, and he would do, like, air drums as he's singing, he would do it left-handed.
Wow. Speaking of leading with the left.
Then you would see him on We Are the World. You'd see him like on all these other things. Before you really saw, like, I didn't really see Genesis. I didn't really see that stuff.
Yeah.
But and when he was solo, it was just him, dressed poorly, running around the world and hiding his hair or whatever. But I mean, as a songwriter, I was like, oh, okay, so drummers and songwriters, that can be the same. Which of course led me to a little bit of Neil. You say his last name.
Neil Peart.
Peart. I called him Pert forever. I know I'm wrong.
It's fine. I called him Pert forever too. Okay. I know that most of my drummer buddies. I know more drummers than I know guitar players, by the way. I'd like to point out at this point.
Right. In life, yeah, totally. Yeah. And so I knew that other drummers loved him.
Yeah.
And so I had to get into that, and then I would find out later that he was the lyricist. And wrote a lot of lyrics. Now, you go ahead and come at me, bitches. Horrible lyricist. I think they're horrible lyrics. I don't care what you say. Stick to the drums. I'm sorry. Subdivision sucks. Okay, go ahead. Come at me.
Shots
in
fired.
The shopping malls. Shut the fuck up. That's not a great lyric.
By the way, I had some friends particularly in high school, they'll be like, "You're a Rush fan?" I'm like, "Yeah, huge Rush fan." They're like, "How do you stand the singer?" And the joke was always, "There's a singer."
Yeah, right. I know. Then as I became a angry young man, I really got into Nico McBrain.
Oh,
young Maiden.
Hell yes.
Gonna get you. I think he's underrated. His tempo and his meter are loose, let's say. He's a loose player.
Doesn't matter. The band goes with him. Same thing with Lars live. I mean, like, they're fucking rocket ships live, but they all play together.
Yeah. And then when I started really getting into industry stuff, started writing music and meeting people and going to, I was pretty young when I was doing that, because I was doing like a cappella music as well, and trying to learn how to write and learn studio stuff at like 16 and things. Everybody I talked to, mix engineers, studio session people that I would run into, Jeff Porcaro.
Oh, fuck yes.
Toto. The Swing.
Yeah.
The Porcaro Swing.
Yeah. His version of the Bernard Purdy Shuffle.
That's right. The Porcaro Shuffle. And there's the Purdy Shuffle, definitely. I mean, I loved all the James Brown stuff. I loved all that kind of stuff. Right? And all those sort of nameless drummers, which sucks, which we probably should look up and find all those names. But I was into soul music. I was into Motown. A lot of that's 4 on the floor, like the beauty about that drumming was that it wasn't about the drumming.
Yeah.
But that's the way you could stay on the one. I mean, when you just think of like some of the James Brown songs, got the feeling. That fucking that little delayed snare. Oh God, that's so good.
Yeah.
Baby, baby, baby. I'm sorry. Okay. So anyway,
and
by the way,
back.
we need to know who that is. Who the drummer was for James Brown on
While you're
on
looking that up, I'm gonna say something.
It's
about...
Clive Stubblefield. I think I knew, but I didn't want anybody to come and yell at me about it.
But they're gonna yell at you anyway.
By the way, drummer for Toto. So if you want to know what we're talking about with that shuffle, we're talking about Rosanna. Go listen to Rosanna.
Yeah.
God, it's so good.
I listened to that song the other day because I was playing it for a gig, and the production on that song is fucking incredible. It is incredible.
All I do when I wake up in the morning is see your eyes. Ah!
You're talking to me, right?
Yes, that's just to you.
Just to me. But yeah, the drums sound incredible. The way that the guitars are mixed on that track, the way the keys, everything about that song is a fucking masterpiece in production, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
And I'm going to give a little... Who played bass on that record? Fuck. That's going to drive me crazy. You have the internet in front of you. Can you look that up too?
Sure.
But like, much like John Taylor, probably one of my favorite bass players ever, like, you can hear him edit himself so nobody has to later. You know? There's something about that era of bass player where they're like muting themselves, and it's so tight with the drums that it's like, fuck you. That is a rhythm section.
That was the last one with David Hungate.
Okay, cool.
That was the original bass player. Then he left for a while. He came back in 2014, 2015, something like that. It was a big deal when he came back. I remember I saw something with Dude talking about him. And so, because they had such a great section together.
Yeah. Was that Lukather?
Yeah, Lukather.
Yeah. He's fucking
I just call him Dude,
anyway. Dude. You call him
just
Luke.
For
That's
sure,
what everybody else calls
Luke,
him.
Dude, Luke. But yeah.
His book is amazing, by the way. The Gospel According to Luke. It's really good.
Yeah, by the way,
anyway.
Steve Lukather, one of the best drummers you've ever heard. That motherfucker can do anything. God damn it.
Was it Clyde Stubblefield?
It was Clyde Stubblefield.
Fuck yeah. Yep. Nice work. Nice pull.
It was. And I think we should mention a few before we go on, before we get too far into the 80s and 90s.
Yeah.
Some of the Motown drummers need some love. First of all, let's get into some of the jazz drummers that like everyone should probably know.
Yeah.
So we mentioned Buddy Rich. Another one, Gene Krupa.
Fucking A.
Lot of fucking floor tom work there.
Yeah.
Elvin Jones, of course.
Yep.
Tony Williams, another one that you definitely should know. A white guy, Joe Morello, by the way. Joe Morello, he was a sideman for Dave Brubeck.
Oh, cool.
And he was just, it's Brubeck. You got to be pretty fucking good to deal with that. The Count Basie guy. I'm going to mention him. Joe Jones, or it's not Jonas, it can't be. I think it's Jones. Joe Jones was part of the Count Basie Orchestra, and he deserves some love from us because he was so damn good. So yeah, those are some of the those guys that you definitely should know. That's one you should know. Let's get into... So let's go through that, but I wanted to also mention some of the Motown drummers that need some love. James Gadson jumps out to me. But Stevie Wonder is a great drummer.
Yeah, he is. How much of those early records did he play? Just fucking
pretty much
everything.
All of them.
Pretty much all of it. Yeah, exactly. Jeez.
And James Gadson was like, he was just part of R&B. I mean, he was on a lot of records. Wasn't like this is the time when those drummers would come in and just play, and you wouldn't know that they were on that record. Another Motown session drummer who was part of the Funk Brothers was Pistol Allen, Richard, I think. Pistol Allen is somebody that you need to look for, and Jack Ashford, another great one that was part of the in-house Funk Brothers for Motown.
We're going to need a fucking big old list at the end of this one about all the drummers we fucking love.
I'm going to add everybody that's alive.
Yeah.
We'll see what we could do. But for all you drummers, if you're a new drummer, these are some of the names. This is some of the shit you should know. This is some of the old school people that you should know. Yeah. And if you want to get into some drummers, just Google some of them and like look up some YouTube videos. I swear to God, they'll blow your mind. It'll blow your mind how good some of these guys are. But by the way, in a lot of those days, we should mention this. Drummers will agree with us here. No click tracks in a lot of those days. That's you were the click track.
Yeah. I always say this, and I mean it. Every time I'm producing a record, the drums take the most amount of time for me because they're the backbone. There's two things I want to make sure I can get right because everything else can kind of be fixed later if needs be. But it's the lead vocals or the vocals and the drums. Those are two things that you get them right at the source. Your entire fucking night is easier. And when you get them right at the source and you're working with a drummer, such as my friend and whoopee, my safety blanket, Trevor, my job is so much easier. I don't have to worry. Right. I know he knows the material. I know he's going to hit his fucking drums. And I know that it's going to sound amazing. Everything's going to be tuned really well. And I've actually, even like doing like sessions for other drummers, I paid Trevor to come and tune drums for that session. Like, hey, can you come over and tune these drums for these people? So
wow. Does he tune to hits or does he tune to his hits? Like, so I knew a drum tech that would only tune after they saw how hard and where other drummers would hit the skins. Like, are you a middle? Are you a top left? And then they would tune so that, kind of like how guitarists do, where if someone digs hard,
they're hitting the hard, you're
going to tune it just a little bit flat because it's going to come up.
I always tune my low E string a little flat just because I'm a little heavier handed on the low strings than I am on the high strings. But
I tune my D flat.
I'm sorry.
Can
you say that again?
I know.
Hashtag dirty.
But I don't know, for whatever reason, just in the middle of the fretboard or in the middle of the string setup, I for whatever reason, like I think maybe it's my first finger, so or whatever it is that I'm playing on D strings.
I'm sorry, your first finger on the D is always flat. I'm sorry, this music is just full of sexual metaphors. You're welcome, America.
It is.
So I have him tune the G string. I have him tune to his hitting.
Okay.
Right. Yeah. I have him tuned to how he would hit it because I like the way that sounds.
Yeah.
Having somebody tune it to with regards to that, if that might be somebody I would have on retainer, Yeah. If I had a studio, I was like, hey, my drum tech's going to come in. He's going to watch you play for a few minutes and then he's going to tune the drum kit and then you're going to play.
Right.
But I don't always have the budget for that and I don't have time for that most of the time because, that's kind of how I'm working these days.
But there's a reason why drums are recorded first. Almost always. Even in producer land, you put down the drum track first. Even in real recording land, you do that. There's a reason. The feel, it's not just tempo. It's the feel around the tempo, whether the beat is behind the beat, ahead of the
Alex
beat.
Van Halen.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay, I also, before we go too far here, we need to get some women in this conversation.
Oh, yeah.
That's what she said.
Talk some... Yep.
That works.
Have at it.
Karen fucking Carpenter. Go look her up.
Yes.
We need, no drummer discussion is complete without her, and too many happen without her. And Karen Carpenter was a brilliant drummer.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not a great eater.
Brilliant drummer.
Let's go into too soon.
Ooh,
was it too soon? Okay.
Too soon.
Look, she would have appreciated that. She really would have.
Do you think she would have?
No, I absolutely don't. But her brother would have. Okay. I also want to mention Terry Lynn Carrington. Mm-hmm. Terry Lynn Carrington. Yes. Terry Lynn Carrington, jazz drummer, composer, band leader, all of those kind of things. Let me give you a few of the people this gal has played for. Dizzy Gillespie, Stan Getz, Herbie Hancock, Wayne Shorter, Al Jarreau. Dude, she has been in the midst of it as a jazz drummer, just an amazing drummer. Another one that needs mentioning, and perhaps the first, contemporary music-wise, the first professional female drummer that's sort of accepted. And by the way, if you have another one, leave them in the comments. Let us know. Email us, 2ShotsMusicPod@gmail.com. Viola Smith. First female drummer. She began in the 20s, and she played on the Ed Sullivan Show multiple times. She was part of the NBC Symphony Orchestra. And this is in the 20s and 30s and 40s and 50s when women were not like meant to be on stage unless you were a singer. If you've seen Mrs. Maisel, like anyone that like if you showed up on stage, you were a singer or a dancer. And so to see her be this really great musician, but you can find there's this great NBC Symphony Orchestra YouTube thing that you can find if you search Viola Smith. She's fantastic. Another one that cannot be left out, of course, is Sheila E.
Thank you. I was waiting.
Thank you. There's no Prince without Sheila E.
Nope.
There's no Apollonia.
Yeah.
There's probably no. There's a whole bunch of no's.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Sheila E., obviously amazing. You probably know about her, but like not only a drummer, but also like a fantastic. I think there's a difference here between percussionist and drummer as well. Like there are traditional drummers who aren't necessarily percussionists. Most drummers can get to that level. Most drummers do get to that level, but especially some of these women, they just ended up being amazing percussionists and drummers. And when I say drummer, I mean like sitting in the pocket in a band, as well as being a percussionist. And so those ones we definitely need to make sure we get into. Okay, let's keep going.
And Cindy Blackman Santana, do not forget.
Oh my God, Cindy Blackman Santana. That's right.
Yeah. She is a fucking badass. Played with, obviously her husband. And Joss Stone, Lenny Kravitz, Buckethead, Cassandra Wilson, Ron Carter, Sonny Simmons, Vero Sanders. Yeah, fucking badass.
Fucking awesome.
Fucking badass. Let me ask you this question. Like, I want to throw some love to some drummers we work with currently. We could go down this rabbit hole like forever. As far as like
Kelsey tells me we have been.
She's like, you shut the fuck up.
Shut up, Kelsey. It's only an hour. Okay, go on.
But like I consistently work with there's a few drummers we work with around town. We've got a couple of fucking legends just in Colorado.
We do.
There's one guy I'm thinking of in particular. But like, give me some guys that you're like really digging on now. Like, I mean, like what are you into now that's like really turning your crank drummer wise?
Oh man, that is a good one. I still had like a bunch that I was gonna go. I'm still going back on. Ooh, that's a really good question. Let's get some of the legends out of the way.
Let's do a quick shot of just a list of thousands of drummers for 15
so
fucking minutes.
So in Colorado, it kind of starts with Bob Rupp.
Oh yeah.
Bob Rupp's drums. If you've been on tour in Colorado in the last 3 decades, you probably bought some shit from Rupp's drums or saw a workshop there.
Yeah.
We're very close to Mr. Dr. Bob Rupp. We love him.
Uncle Bob.
We've both been in different Rupp projects and
over the years, for sure.
Rupp Club, Rupp projects, Rupp things. Bob Rupp also is a direct lineage from Ringo Starr. Not a flashy guy, but solid.
Just the most delicious meat and potatoes you've ever put on your plate.
Yeah, and just when you meet a drummer that loves drums so much, he's been in magazines, he's owned drum stores. He was in
Playgirl. I mean, he was
he was just him and a Zildjian, I think. And
is that what we're calling it?
Or
we'll call his wife and ask.
Him sitting naked on a Ludwig set, part of the Wankers, all that sort of thing. Yeah, Bob Rupp is amazing and just a overall class guy. And by the way, when you have a legend like that in your town, every show that you do is usually backlined by Bob Rupp.
By Bob Rupp and
like
Rupp's drums.
Those Rupp drums are up there.
Everywhere. Yeah.
So some of the other guys that in town that I like. Chris Stongle is still playing. He played on a few records of mine. Love Chris. He's played with a lot of people. I think he was playing with Chris Daniels for a while. He plays in a bunch of like tribute acts now.
Cool.
A really solid drummer that I still love is David Derby, D2.
Oh yeah, love the Derby.
Playing for Dear Marcia. He was in a band that I was in called Phased In, although we couldn't decide whether it was with Michael St. James, featuring Michael St. James. I just wanted a band name, and they're like, no, we're going to play your record. And I'm like, fuck. Michael Hevelman and a few other people are in that. But David Derby, class act, great guy.
Produced him last year. No, last year, like almost a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
Produced him on a record, and he's
solid,
fucking amazing. Yeah.
He's primarily with Dear Marcia right now, right?
Yeah, he still plays with Wendy Wu, I believe, as well. Yeah. But he's fucking badass. The rock upon which you can lean.
I want to mention, like, like a lot of times you've been in a band that is, and you have your drummer, and my drummer would be Jeff Martin. And Jeff Martin was in Tribal Tongue. Jeff Martin was in Johnson. He was in, he's currently in a band called Johnny Got Rocks. He was in a few bands that I've done. He's just like Jeff Martin is from the John Bonham tree. Yeah. He has the largest calves of anyone I've ever met in my life. He hits as hard as you want. He shuffles as well as you'd like.
I love a drummer that does that.
He does not agree with the plastic around the drums to keep it from bleeding. But he is just a fantastic fucking drummer and a good dude.
Yeah.
So that's him. I will also let me give a little shout out. I got a little story here for you if you'd like it.
All right. Yeah, of course.
How about Kofi Baker?
Oh.
A lot of people don't know this. So Ginger Baker from Cream lived in Colorado for a short time. And he lived down kind of near where you did in Parker. And he had a property.
Yep.
I was fucking around with some people at the time who were pretty heavy duty into blues and the scene. And Steve Crenshaw and I went down. I got to meet Ginger. We played with Kofi for a while. And Ginger he won't hear this. It won't matter. He's out of the country now. But he was as irascible as you would fucking think. He was the crotchety old fuck you, get off my lawn kind of guy that you think he is. If you've ever read anything about Ginger, he was very difficult to get along with. And when I met him, he was absolutely that person. He was as sold.
Did you just say that Ginger Baker was out of the country?
I believe so. He got kicked
for the last 4 years. He's been dead.
Well, okay, but so it stands true. No?
So he is definitely out of town.
Do you know where he's buried? Okay, I rest my case.
Hold on. I can find you. Do you know where he's buried? So fuck yeah. He's out of the country, asshole.
Actually, and he had a great benefit. He started the Polo Club thing here. He had a great benefit at Herman's before he left. It was an IRS thing. It's a whole sordid story. You can search it. But he was, Kofi is a fantastic drummer. And I think Kofi does a Cream tribute project, so you should check that out.
Yeah, that sounds
Kofi
awesome.
is not as much of a dick as his dad was. I think everyone would agree. Kofi even would probably. I didn't know Kofi very well. We met a little bit and played a little bit, but I think everyone kind of knew the Ginger Baker thing. But it was amazing to be near Ginger Baker. Holy shit! In fucking Colorado, legend. Holy shit!
Yeah,
it was amazing. So that was kind of amazing. All right, your time for a story, and I've got another one, but go ahead.
I want to throw some. Okay, by the way, I'd like to point out Ginger Baker was cremated, so he's definitely out of the fucking country.
Thank you.
Anyway,
point stands.
Point stands. I'm going to throw a little love to one of our local legends, a guy named Michael Joachim.
Ah, yes.
One of the finest drummers I've ever had the privilege to stand next to on stage and watch him play a drum solo. He's absolutely fucking incredible. Plays with our friend Ryan Criss in the Rough Cuts. But Michael, he's got 3 or 4 books right now about all the shit that he's done.
Road life and stuff.
Yeah, and if I tried to list the number of projects that guy has played with, where he played in the studio or played on tour with, I would fucking forget 90% of them.
Absolutely.
The biggest one that's my favorite is since the 1990s, he has been Animal. For the Muppets. So anytime you hear Animal drum, that's Michael drumming. And one of the kindest, sweetest, most genuine, lovely people.
Hold on. Before you kiss his ass too much.
I'm kissing his ass.
I want everyone to know
awesome.
that, like what you just said, how important that is. He is the drummer you hear.
Yep.
When you hear Animal from the Muppets playing drums.
Yes.
That is him playing drums that is recorded.
Yeah.
Just so everybody knows. That wasn't like
tell you the story sometime.
Nope. Yeah, that wasn't an
he's
analogy.
Actually Animal.
That was literally him. He is the drummer who is Animal of the Muppets.
And he's also doing this amazing thing with his wife where he's got a house in Colorado, but when it gets fucking cold, they fuck off to Mexico. And I am here for that party.
I love that energy.
Yeah, I love that. That sounds amazing. Let's do that. I've had the opportunity to share the stage with him a few times, and obviously Ryan is a good friend of mine, and I just fucking adore. I love that person, just like kind of like Bob, like that person lives here. And you can fucking go see him at a show, and you're like, hey, man, how are you? And you can have a conversation with a fucking musical legend. Now, I consider Denver a small musical town, but there's a robust pile of musical talent here.
Yeah.
Like, it's huge.
But that's only because we work with coastal people, too. Like, I think other people come here, and they're like, God damn, there's a lot going on here.
Yeah.
And we're there always has been.
Yeah, there always has been. And, I mean... hold on. Brian Nevin. Just going to throw that out there. And
should have produced my record, Brian.
Fucking awesome.
Now I'm left with Jeremy, maybe. No, I'm just kidding.
And then we had, our buddy Matt Billingsley, who lived here for a while, who is playing with Taylor Swift right now, was just here last weekend playing 2 sold-out fucking massive shows that brought how many millions of dollars to our tourist community. And she's doing that everywhere. $120 fucking million influx into our fucking
$4.2 billion as part of the U.S. GDP.
Wow. Wow.
And people still shit on her.
I don't fucking get it. Anyway, but Maddie B, the Jars with Jeremy, fucking fun ass punk project that was all Cars covers. Done in a punk style, and every time they would get up on stage.
I'm living in stereo.
Yeah, there was that kind of stuff. I mean, there was a while Jeremy and I were talking about, like, he's like, I think about adding another guitar player. Are you busy? And I'm like, yeah, but then Glenn, the other guitar player, moved, and Maddie moved to Nashville, and that just never ended up happening. But it was
hard
just
to match Taylor's offer.
I mean, I don't think he was playing with her at that point in time, but they're just fucking good shit. But the favorite part about the Jar shows was Jeremy would get up on stage, he'd be playing bass and singing lead vocal, and he'd say things like, okay, so here's another important song in our roster. It's a song from the 80s by a band called The Cars. And that was the shtick in between every single song.
I like your Jeremy voice. All right, you guys. How you guys? Hey, everybody.
Yeah. Anyway, but I just wanted to throw some love out to all those people.
By the way, Brian Nevin, Big Head Todd and the Monsters.
Yes.
Also should be a producer, Brian, if you're listening.
Yes, please. Please do that.
Oh, we were so close to having him produce a record. But, like, he's got the ear, he's got the eye. He's, like, Brian is such good people, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah, they're all good
Just
humans.
rock solid. Drummer for Mr. Majestics, Jerry...
Busquet? Is that how you say it? I don't know how you say his last name, but Jerry's the shit. Yeah.
I just call him Jer. Jer Bear.
Yeah. Jer Bear.
Jerry's fucking fantastic for Mr. Majestics. Jerry, I told you to come back here. So let's see, who else? Where are we? You know what? A little shout out to Scott Davies.
Oh, fuck, I love
Scott
Scotty.
Davies. I don't know if he's playing with anyone now.
He's still playing with, I know he's still playing in his church band, and I think he's still playing with a corporate band called Soul X.
Okay,
But, there's some other friends of mine are in.
Excellent drummer for a legendary band in the scene called Opie Gone Bad, one of the best names ever.
Yeah.
That was fronted by Jake Schroeder.
Shout out.
That's all we'll say about that.
Yep. He's probably in France doing something amazing with veterans again.
Helping out police and fire or whatever, and his gorgeous wife and things and stuff. Good for you. But Scott, just amazing.
Still fantastic.
I want to mention something in case he hears this. One of the most amazing drummers I've ever played with. I was super young. Mm-hmm. I mean, I was 17 maybe. It was like my second or third band I was in. He was super younger. He was like 14. And he heard me play with somebody at the Yogurt Factory. I was playing in a bunch of weird like metal bands and stuff. And he was like, dude, I'd really like to play with you, man. I'm like, hi, who are you? And he went to high school with me. And his name was Josh Van Ice.
Ooh.
And I found this cassette tape. So he gave me a demo of him playing. Yeah. And it was him playing Mean Streets and then playing something else. I'm like at 14.
Wow, that's impressive.
And then the rest of it was original.
Wow.
It was so impressive.
Cool.
We put together a little band. We played like some weird club up north or whatever, and like he couldn't get in, he couldn't drive, he couldn't it just wasn't going to work. But he was
guys. Gee whiz, guys.
I know. I was ready to play the gig. But Josh Van Ice, if you hear this, reach out to me because I would love to jam with you again. We would love to jam with you again because I imagine you still got it, Chief.
You got it, Chief. You got it.
Another fun drummer that I want to mention and just give some love to is Jeff Weidert, who I believe might still be recovering from a brain injury.
Oh, no.
He played a lot with us with Crenshaw and with some of those bands back in the day. He was super duper fun and fantastic. Let's give some love to Michael Fairmont.
Oh man!
Who now
You're
is
going deep into the bag here.
An
I love
amazing teacher in Denver Public Schools. He played for Bad Rufus. He played for Fierce George, I believe. Great
best
player.
Best band name ever.
Oh my God, Dr. Mr. Mike, Iron Mike Rice.
Oh yeah, but he's not in Denver anymore. He's now in Nashville.
Now he's in Nashville.
We'll give him some love.
That's right. So fuck you,
Nashville
Mike.
Bitch.
Never mind. We never will play it together again. I've been in a bunch of bands with him. I love him so much.
Me too. Yeah, he's the best.
By the way, I'm just a great drummer. By the way, great drummer. If you're in Nashville, call up Mike Rice.
Oh yeah, badass. I'm gonna throw some love to a younger fellow in Denver that I met when he was probably 18. He's a kid. He's like 27 now. Met him probably about 10 years ago. His name's Bobby Ferguson.
Bobby Ferguson. Call him Bob.
Yeah, so he's got a band in Denver called Moonglade, and I think he's on a couple other projects. His brother, Peta, lives out in Nashville and plays for Lucy Silvas. I think he still does, who is Jingle John Osborne from the Osborne Brothers. That's his wife. And so, Ferguson's very, 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 very musically talented family. But Bobby, at 18 fucking years old, was one of the most prepared drummers I've ever met in my life, one of the most humble people, but knew his worth, and just to the point that, like I said, you come with me, I've got some work for you, and I hired him for a couple of bar gigs, and I hired him for some corporate and wedding stuff and some bigger shows as well, and just an incredible technician, an incredible person. And, one of those, like unicorn people that has the character, the chemistry, and the capabilities, the 3 C's.
Yeah.
And he's just an incredible drummer. And they've got Moonglade has some new stuff coming out that I believe he produced as well. So, under 30 years old.
Jesus.
Played with Odessa at Bonnaroo. Not Bonnaroo. What's the one out in fucking California?
Bottle Cap?
No, the big one, the biggest one.
Bottle Rock? Oh,
no.
The biggest one.
Biggest one.
Indigo?
Yes. What the fuck is the name of that? Yeah.
Oh, God damn it.
I can't remember the name of the fucking festival
Coachella.
right now. Coachella. Thank you very much.
I'm sorry. I know it is Couchella because I'm not going.
Yeah. So he played with Odessa at Coachella in their drumline thing. And just, and he's not even 30 yet. The shit that this kid has done.
Yeah.
I say kid, but I know he's a man. But I love seeing somebody with that kind of drive and that kind of personality.
Yeah.
That, has that perfect balance of all these things. And I know all the things he does from here on, he's just got his fucking head on straight. It's amazing. So shout out to Bobby Ferguson.
One more that we got to mention that we probably should have is Patrick Meese. So he plays with Nathaniel Rateliff in the Night Sweats. Yeah. He's actually Nathaniel's brother. They were in a band called Born in the Flood that we all used to play with a lot. But Patrick's hell of a guy, great fucking drummer. And by the way, along with the different styles that you've heard through Nathaniel Rateliff, that's been Patrick. He's been able to go from like rock to pop rock to soulful rock to soul music to throwback retro to whatever this Zydeco kind of thing that they're doing right now. And so shout out to Patrick. You're a good
fucking
egg.
Badass.
And also he's still got a lot of love for Denver. Y'all may have seen him sing the national anthem with the band for the Denver, your world champion Denver Nuggets. This is a hip hop show now.
That was me. Yeah.
All right, cool.
Right,
let's get
that was
to
fucking great.
Who are some we're obviously missing some. We need to list some drummers. Maybe we should just go through and go one after another of drummers that we love that are great. Do you want to do that, or you want me to just burn through a list?
Sure. You burn through a list. I'll give you a few once you're done.
All right, Chad Smith, way underrated.
Fucking agree.
Red Hot Chili Peppers drummer. Played with him at the Blue Mule one night. He came in and did the Taylor Hawkins tribute show at the O. Fantastic dude. Gave a bunch of money to Denver. Super awesome guy, and really underrated as a touch rock drummer. He's got a touch to him. Funky.
Yeah.
You go.
You want me to go? Gavin Harrison from Porcupine Tree.
Oh, that's a deep cut, bitches.
I believe he also played on some Marillion stuff recently. I could be fucking wrong. Yeah, I think there was a in the last 5 years, but I could be fucking wrong on that. But that guy is, I believe, one of the finest technicians now. So that's my opinion on that.
Love that. Stuart fucking Copeland.
Fuck yes.
A composer, drummer.
Yeah.
Multiple different styles. Does soundtracks. He knows how to write music as a drummer. Write drum music, write rhythm music, and write music that is melodic. If you are a drummer starting out, get into Stuart Copeland. Please start playing like him. We need more like him.
Stanton Moore from Galactic.
Ooh, good one.
Just I get another technician with great chops and great pocket, and one of the most energetic drummers I've ever seen on stage. Really fun to watch guy.
Yeah, that's a good pull. How about Carter Beauford?
That was my next one too. Fuck, that's perfect. Another lefty that learned to play righty.
Another lefty.
That's why he's got that parallel thing going on.
Amazing. I will I'll let you. Well, go out. You go ahead about him.
No. I fucking love
Dave Matthews
him.
Band. Just an amazing drummer, an amazing guy. God, what a smile. But being able to do a lot of different kinds of time signatures, being able to play and run, an 8, sometimes 9-piece band, that's difficult. Yeah. Any drummer will probably agree with this. When you invite horn players and string players onto the stage with guitarists and bassists and all the rest of it, things can become a little bit more difficult, and and he is able to handle that with aplomb.
Yeah. Very, very much so. That's a very well put thing. I'm trying to. I had one and then I lost it.
I'll go again.
Go again.
Look, I'm going to give some flowers to Travis Barker.
Oh fuck yeah,
dude is still doing it at a high level, and regardless of the Blink-182 reunion, which is amazing at their age, and I will say that, at their age.
Yeah.
That dude is on so many fucking records. Search Travis Barker on Spotify.
Yeah.
You will freak out how a drummer is featured on literally hundreds of singles that are in metal, hip hop, alternative rock. He's all over the place. That dude works hard. And he's a badass drummer. He's just badass.
He's a badass. And have you seen, there's a bunch of videos out there, and you can look it up. He still loves to teach too. I don't know if these kids will go backstage, like they'll get an opportunity to meet him backstage, and he'll sit down and do a drum lesson with them.
Yeah.
I mean, I love this idea that somebody on that level still has that openness to that piece,
Yeah,
being
the
kind
patience and to do that. Good God.
Yeah. But loves that piece of it. Not all the time, kind of like me in teaching. Like, I love teaching certain people, but other times when I'm like if at a show somebody comes up to me and says, "Hey man, I really love your guitar playing," I will usually hand them my guitar and say, "You play something."
Yeah.
If you're a player, play something, because that's an instrument that's supposed to be played. You should play it. I'm going to throw a little bit of love the way of Meg White.
Really? Okay. This is a flashpoint.
And here's why.
I like it.
I think that the White Stripes as a band, as a duo, were fucking revolutionary, and she played exactly the right thing for the band.
Agreed.
And that's I think that one of the things about, I mean, you can take her as a composer or a writer and all that kind of stuff as well, but like the way she played had to do with, the limitations that she had as a technician, right?
Right.
And I think that is often sometimes a better way to compose and a better way to write. Put limitations, put boundaries on it. Like there's a boundary on, and that I believe makes the end product more creative and more interesting, because you have to figure out how to do it even when you have those limitations and those boundaries on you. And I think that she's one. Like, Hardest Button to Button is one of my favorite fucking rock songs of all time.
Nice.
And I fucking love that. And I love the drums on it. And it's just, I mean, she's a little bit of a cave person when it comes to drumming, and I fucking love that. I love that style of drumming.
I absolutely agree. Omar Hakim.
Ooh.
Weather Report.
Very nice.
Some Sting, Bring on the Night, Dream of the Blue Turtles, part of that thing with Kenny and all the amazing jazz players in that project. Omar Hakim has such a unique style of playing. Yeah. And I've always loved his playing, and I love the stuff you hear on Weather Report too. And I'm not sure what he's doing now. I'm probably dating myself by like, hey, this is what he did 30 years ago. But he was very, very damn good, and is very damn good.
Yeah, there's something to be said for drummers that just I love somebody that has a sound, has a technique. Like there was, I don't remember who it was that did a drum. They did a drum clinic at the Bluebird. It was probably Stephen Perkins or somebody like that, right? I think it actually was Stephen Perkins. Did a drum clinic. It was brought to you by Rupp's Drums.
Right.
And he said...
Tell the kids who Stephen Perkins played for.
I know he played for Porno for Pyros. Did he play for Jane's Addiction too?
Yeah.
I couldn't remember that, but I know him as a drummer, having seen him perform. So apologies that I don't have the full catalog memorized. But he was talking about how an iconic drum part played by the right drummer, you can identify the song from the drum part. That's a good thing. So he did, obviously, Rosanna and Africa, like the Porcaro stuff. He did Moby Dick. And then he did... What the fuck? I'm losing my damn mind. But it was very specific on how the right drum part, you can identify what song it is just from the drum part. You don't even need to hear the rest of the song. Your brain will fill in all that information because the drums are so iconic.
Yeah. Let's give some love to Matt Sorum.
Oh, yeah. Great drummer.
Yeah, and Matt Sorum, fucking rock drummer.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking all over the place. He comes in and fills in for Steven Adler. This Guns N' Roses guy ends up doing Velvet Revolver, which I think is probably his best work. And I'm sorry if he thinks it's different, but Matt, that was just amazing. I mean, the beginning.
The Slither? Yeah.
I mean, that's just Fucking A. That's some good shit.
Yeah. That's great. I mean, there's so many drummers in my head. I could go on about this for hours and weeks. And,
Kelsey shaking her head. Please do.
Yeah. She's saying to please do. We're at 90 minutes.
That's right.
How the hell is going on? That's right,
because we love drummers, and this is about time, and we're keeping time. You can't waste one episode out of your 18, 20 episodes.
It's not it's a bad. You're right, it is. But I think
I'll just give you a few more then, and then we'll wrap.
Please.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think we still should give some love to Tommy Lee. Tommy Lee, for decades.
Again, another guy you can recognize by the way he plays drums.
Absolutely. And, an amazing showman, somebody who sort of invented that roller coaster drum sequence over a crowd. Yeah. Not easy to do. And you can make fun of him for a bunch of other things, but I will tell you, the last Motley Crue video that came out about the European tour with Def Leppard, it was from the drums. You couldn't hear Vince singing. You could barely hear John Vive's guitar. You could hear a little bit of Nicky, but you heard all of the drums.
Yeah.
Because they were locked in. I also think that we should also mention fucking Rick Allen.
Def
Leppard.
That's a great call.
A one-armed drummer.
Yeah.
The drummer from Def Leppard's only got one arm. If you know that reference, please email us, and I'm going to send you a T-shirt. If you know that reference, what song that comes from, you email me, 2ShotsMusicPod@gmail.com. The drummer from Def Leppard's only got one arm. So Rick Allen, if you don't know the story, fucking Google Rick Allen. But he basically invented himself a way to play rock drums in a huge arena rock band at the height of their fucking career and continued on as a world-class drummer with one arm, using his feet. And the flowers. Give him all the fucking flowers. Give him all the things. Not only that, but if you've ever met Rick Allen, that dude and his wife, the sweetest motherfucking people. I mean, he is so sweet. He just is smiling and so sweet all the time.
Yeah.
I don't even know if he's ever gotten mad. So how
can you when you survive that?
I don't know if that's the right term.
No, I totally get it. Talk about a guy that like wrote legendary drum parts after losing his arm. Like,
he was the
drum
guy
parts
who
that are
sang
still on the radio.
Globin, by the way. That was him.
I thought that was Mutt Lange.
I don't know. It's hard. He does it live though. I know that.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I knew that. Perfect. Why don't they just take that sample you just recorded right there?
Because Def Leppard doesn't use vocal samples. That's why.
Yeah.
Or so
I'll see myself out.
Or so I'm told. Okay, and let's get to at least one more here. We got to get to at least one more. And
one more.
Here it is. This is the last one. Dave Grohl.
Oh, fuck. How did I forget Dave Grohl?
How did you forget Dave Grohl? Because he's a New York Times bestselling author. He is a multi-Grammy award-winning songwriter and producer. He is a record mixer. He is a session player. He was in the most famous band of all time, probably outside of the Beatles. He is a dual entry into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And when he is not being put in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, he's introducing the people in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. The only guy that Paul McCartney has inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. This motherfucker. Dave Grohl, one of the best men in the world. Good husband, good father, good band leader, great businessman, pretty fucking good guitarist, by the way.
Yeah.
Can scream
great riff
with
writer.
The best of them. Pretty good singer, by the way.
Yeah.
Great lyric writer. And hard to beat at the goddamn drums. He is the drummer's drummer. He's the drummer that like other drummers want to be like, need to play like.
Yeah.
He came in on a song for Queens of the Stone Age that ends up being their biggest hit and ends up being the reason why every drummer following him are like, that's why I want to play that song, because he wrote that drum part. And by the way, that
no
song
one knows.
part, by the way, little side note here. Queens of the Stone Age have reached into Jack White land. Do you know how Jack White has the dun, 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 right?
Yeah.
I should say White Stripes do, but it's Jack White.
Yeah.
And like soccer arenas all over, fans all over in sporting events, just sing that song. It doesn't even have to come on. They just start singing it and everyone sings it. Seven Nation Army,
nice.
right?
Yeah.
Well, guess what? Now Queens of the Stone Age have that with dun 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 dun. Now fans,
no one knows.
you will see this soccer season.
Yeah.
They're singing
nice.
it in arenas, and good on you. But anyway, Dave Grohl.
Cool.
Love Dave Grohl. Dave Grohl.
Also smokes a hell of a brisket. Have you seen this?
He helps homeless people. He helps firefighters. He makes brisket. He's a barbecue chef that is fucking he's got blue ribbons.
Yeah.
For grilling?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? He doesn't stop, y'all. He doesn't
I love
stop.
that. That's kind of like, I mean, a metaphor for life is like, ooh, what's next? What's next? And if that, I mean, that's always kind of be my thought process on this whole thing is like, ooh, what's next? What can I do now?
And by the way, if you form your life as a drummer, form it after Dave Grohl. Because go ahead, write the songs in the background. And if you have someone like Kurt Cobain, maybe you just let him do that part for now.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean you don't keep writing.
Yeah.
Your time will come.
Yeah.
And so, yes, Dave Grohl is where we should end that part.
That's absolutely right.
Probably the most famous drummer alive right now.
Button on that fur coat right there. Perfect.
That's right. All right, let's get to the sink of the week.
Sink
of
the
week. Wow, that was weird. That was like a horse. Sorry about that, you guys. The sink of the week.
Wilbur. That was a whole lot of references right there. All
what do you
one.
think,
You're
Kelsey?
welcome.
Do we cover every fucking drummer that lived? Somebody's going to be, what about Danny Carey? What about Matt Cameron?
All great.
What about Josh? Yeah, it's going to. What about Taylor Hawkins?
Josh Freese.
We missed him.
Yeah, we did. Yeah. Josh Freese. Yep, we got him. We know all of them. There's a limit. If you want this to be a 3-hour podcast, which you fucking don't, we could do that.
That's 2 shots in a Gilligan's Island. Hey! All right, sink of the week. You go.
Okay, so I think I've told you that I'm currently watching The Bear on Hulu.
The Birth.
And it's been, it's been lovely because, I mean, I think I told you, many people have told you that I toured with a band from Chicago for a few years, and it was a really lovely experience. There was we just started season 2 around here, and it's really great. But at the end of season 1, they have a Sufjan Stevens song called Chicago, right?
That placement's so good.
But here's the thing about that is prior to it, there was a radio introduction by a legendary Chicago DJ named Lynn Bremer, right? From WXRT. I'm pretty sure that's the close. And so Freddie Jones Band, I have the alumni card for playing in that band. We did a bunch of radio events for those guys out in Chicago, and I knew Lynn and as well as the rest of the band. And he actually passed away, I believe, earlier this year.
Recently,
it was really sad. So I'm watching this show, and there's this beautiful intro from Lynn on this song. And it was like, the song's perfect, the montage is perfect. It's a beautiful Chicago day in the scene, and I just wanted to give some shout out to Lynn and all the WXRT family.
WXRT.
Yeah. So let me make sure that that's correct because I'm pretty sure that's cool.
Well, I mean, that was a station.
Yeah, that is the station that he was on.
93 XRT.
Yeah, so it just really, really lovely little, like I heard his voice and I was like, holy shit, that's Lynn.
Yeah.
Like it was real. And it was just like, so like, it was like I was steeped in Chicago.
And he loved Marty, right?
Oh yeah, he loved Marty. Yeah, he was a really sweet man too. And a fucking hell of a DJ. It was a sad state of affairs when he passed. But again, like for me as a person that has been tangentially associated with Chicago because of that band, this show is wonderful, and I see all these places I've been to all over that city, and hearing his voice on the intro to that. So it's the opening scene of the show. So black screen, you just hear Lynn's voice. It was fucking beautiful. So that's my sync of the week is Chicago by Sufjan Stevens. And I'd like to point out, I'm pretty sure I pronounced it correctly.
I think you did. Yeah, I'm not even going to question it because it sounds so like highfalutin. Sufjan.
Have you ever seen that hardtimes.net article that says, so you pronounce Sufjan Stevens incorrectly at your local record store. Here's how to leave town and never come back.
That's awesome.
Something like that. It's fucking great. Anyway, you're up.
My sync of the week. I'm getting into. I've gotten into and have finished the last season of Jack Ryan on Prime.
Oh, me too. It was fucking great.
It was fucking great. I'm so pissed off. Like, just do those. Like, what else are you gonna do? Like Shakespeare in the Park, fine. Just do these every 6 months. Why not?
He's
keep
doing
it going?
the next A Quiet Place 3.
But he's directing it. You don't even have to learn lines for that.
You don't have to do anything. You lazy fuck.
Yeah, so it's I don't know. Whatever. Maybe he just needs to be at home with the kids more. I don't know. I'm pretty pissed off that Jack Ryan is ending because I would just like 100 more seasons of that.
I love that show. I love that spy shit like that. It's fucking great.
I'm a sucker for it. I'll watch anything.
Me too.
Like that. But so season 4, I think it's season 4. Anyway, Jack Ryan, the last season is out on Prime. If you're into super duper spy shit, it's really good. It's good. It's good.
Really
you
great.
You gotta watch it. There is a scene that starts off where they're going to cause some havoc in Dubrovnik. And the song is called Let's Start a Riot.
Ooh,
by Beginners and Night Panda.
Fuck yeah.
That song, I fucking love it. It needs to be synced more. It's such a great song. It's called Let's Start a Riot. Check that out. Look it up on YouTube. The executive music person on the show is Melissa Hardwick. And so that's who's doing it. PJ Bloom was involved, but I don't think he is in the last season. So, shout out to Melissa.
That's a good choice.
But yeah, Let's Start a Riot. Beginners and Night Panda is just a freaking great song. A good stuff there. Yeah. All right, let's wrap this sucker up. Kelsey, thank you so much for coming in today. We really appreciate it.
Find her on the internet.
Find her on the internet. Whoever finds Kelsey first.
Yeah.
I don't know what we'll give you, but we'll give you something. But email us.
You'll get a sternly worded message back.
Yeah, find us. Kelsey. Find us. 2ShotsMusicPod, wherever you find people. Let us know if you find Kelsey. Don't tell her. Don't worry. She doesn't check our feed. She doesn't care. But remember to rate and subscribe. Give us 5 stars. Leave a hilarious comment. Do not do it on your Apple iPod. We've been told by Apple that doesn't work.
Doesn't work anymore.
You have to do it on Apple Podcasts, apparently, or iTunes. But do not do it on your Apple iPod. But
that
really
click wheel will only get you so far.
Everybody listening over there on Spotify and Apple. And by the way, check out our YouTube. A lot of people are watching YouTube. We've got a few subscribers over there. You can check it out for free.
There's some fun shit on there. Yeah. Good clips.
It's good stuff.
I'm going to give some credit to you because you are doing a fucking spectacular job of those short little clips out of this stuff.
We try to entertain on TikTok.
I'm just reclining on the divan, eating peeled grapes and being fanned by emu feathers. So,
Well, that's what we've told you to do. Just sit there and look pretty and done. All right, y'all. Until we talk to you next time, we love you, drummers. We love
y'all.
you.
Love drummers. Thank you.
And we will talk to you soon. Have a good week and write a great song. All right. Bye.
Bye.